James, how close is John Reed to his pre-injury level, and if he's not there now, when would you hope to have him at it?
Yeah, I think if we were playing Saturday, he'd play. But he's played enough football for us. We kind of know where he is, taking our time, kind of easing him back in, both physically and mentally. But if we were playing this Saturday, he'd play in the game.
James, how much
Is that answer your question?
Well, and as far as recovery from the injury, like in terms of 100%, how close is he to it?
If we were going to play a game on Saturday, he'd play.
Okay.
James, with respect to your QBs, with Tommy not doing much, obviously you know what Trace brings to the table. How much of an opportunity is that giving your younger guys? And can you tell me how they're coming along? Yeah,
I think you guys have heard me talk about this in the past, about sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. And don't get me wrong, I'd love for Tommy to be getting a bunch of reps this spring from a developmental standpoint. But it's been really good for Clifford. It's been really good for Clifford. He's getting a bunch of reps in practice. He's making some mistakes. He's learning from it. He's very conscientious. He asks great questions. He takes a lot of really good notes. Our defense does a lot. And as you can imagine, during camp and during spring ball, it's probably heavier than it is even during games, because we're installing all the things that we may run during the season. And then as the season goes on, we kind of refine and kind of hone in on who we're going to be. But right now we're installing every single day. Today was the first day of 3 down, and that changes all our rules from a protection standpoint and the run game from a blocking perspective. So it's been pretty good. That's how we typically install. So like, for example, when the offense is going to do empty, we do a whole empty period, so the defense is just getting all of that at once. Whether it's formation into the boundary, whether it's unbalanced, whether it's 3 down, those types of things. So it's been a lot, but I think the reps have been good. Jake is starting to get some reps as well, which has been really good. Schuster's doing a great job. But I think Clifford's probably the guy that's got the biggest opportunity right now. And I think where you're probably going to really see it paid off is not really now. He's learning now. He'll learn even more kind of going through these cut-ups between now and the start of camp. And I think you'll really see growth between now and camp is when I think it's going to really start to pay off for him and us.
What kind of quarterback is he? Like his personality, his play style? What would you say, or is it too early to
Yeah, I think in some ways it's too early to tell, because a guy's practice demeanor doesn't always align with their game demeanor. I do know from the time he's been here, I think he's got really good football intelligence. I think he's got really good football instincts. Better athlete than probably people give him credit for. He's highly, highly competitive. You guys know I don't talk about injuries a whole lot, but since it's over, like he missed a weight lift in the weight room one day and punched the bench and broke his hand. And this was months ago. And obviously that's not what we want a quarterback to do. It was a great teaching moment, but he's a very, very fiery competitor. The morning workouts, he's always matched up with Trace. And he competes really well with Trace. And Trace, as we all know, is a really good athlete. So he understands the importance of that aspect in our offense, and is really focused on it. He's really dropped his body fat. He's gotten stronger. He's gotten leaner. He's gotten more explosive.
James, where's the kicking competition at? I mean, obviously you guys have what you have this spring. What do you like about the guys you have now?
We really don't have a competition, to be honest with you. We know who our punter is in Blake Gillikin. I do think we have some competition at snapper, although Vasey did a really good job for us last year. And kicker, we got Landis. We got one kicker right now. I think obviously Gillikin, I think, can do it. He did it in high school. We'd prefer not to do it. There is an aspect where he may do kickoff. And it showed he's pretty good at that. And from all the people we've talked to, the kicking gurus plus our internal people, that's an easier kind of job to handle, punting and kickoffs, where field goals is a lot more technical. I know that may not seem to make sense, but from everything everybody's told me, that's the case. So we think he may be able to do punt and kickoff if we need him to. He wants to do that. And then we need to find a field goal kicker. This is great work for Landis, but I wouldn't call it a competition because he's the only real true kicker we have in camp right now.
Looking at John last season, traveling with the team, how much did that help him last season, and how much will that help him this season?
Well, I think it's hard because we're limited in the numbers that we can travel. So if you're going to travel a guy who can't play, you're losing something, obviously. You're losing a young guy that you could develop. You're losing another guy that you're getting game ready to see the field. But we just felt like with John's maturity and his intelligence, you guys have heard us talk about John in the past, both academically and when it comes to football. I mean, he is a football junkie. I think I've talked to you guys about Jevin is able to look at the amount of film that guys are watching, and he's like 100 hours ahead of anybody else in the program in terms of the amount of film that he watches. He's been that way since high school. I don't know if you guys remember during the recruiting process, we had I think it was the Lash Bash barbecue, and he sat in and watched film the whole time with coaches. That's kind of who he is. So we felt as coaches, him traveling and being around the guys and his intelligence and his knowledge and experience, that was valuable. And the players wanted that, and the coaches wanted that. So I think it also helped keep him engaged because as much as you tell guys to stay locked in, when you're not traveling and you're not on the sideline, it's difficult.
Do you think he might watch more film than you do on a given week?
I don't think so, but I don't know. Ours isn't tracked. The coaches, obviously, we work long days. I was thinking about it this morning because we had a coach visiting us, and we were kind of talking, and he threw out a number of hours. We're here all day. I usually get in, as you guys know, pretty early. We have a staff meeting every day at 7. We watch film all day long, combination of film, talking recruiting, organizational structure, practice plans, things like that. So whether it's recruiting film or game film, I think the coaches watch a lot of film, but I don't track the coaches' film hours.
James, Billy Fessler was a guy who kind of authored your signaling book the past few years. With him gone, how do you kind of identify a guy who can take over that role? I know Tommy and Jake are still here, but kind of finding someone that fits that area that you have to fill that maybe people don't talk about.
Are you telling me that Billy Fessler wrote and published a book on all our signals for the whole conference and country to know?
It's on a Google Drive.
No. Yeah, obviously, Billy is coaching. He's finishing up this semester, and he's going to be a coach. So it's a great opportunity. He's already received a position. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not, but he's going to Slippery Rock, which is awesome. I'm really excited for him, and I'm really happy for him. I saw a couple Slippery Rock guys nodding their head with excitement there. He couldn't get into East Stroudsburg grad school, so where I went to school, so he's in Slippery Rock. No, I'm kidding. But I'm really proud of him, and I'm really happy for him. And I think the way he approached his career here, kind of got him prepared for the next step, and I think also helped him realize that's what he wants to do. And he's going to be a great coach. So I think we talk all the time about different roles on our team and how each role is critical. And Billy's a guy that took his role on this team very serious and brought a lot of value. Coached the younger guys, kind of like you look at sometimes the third quarterback in the NFL is almost like an older veteran who's coaching the rookie. And I think that's how kind of Billy has been. So yeah, we got to find out who that's going to be. I think we got some good candidates, and whether it's Schuster or whether it's Clifford or whether it's Zembeck or some of the freshmen coming in, but we're going to need somebody to do it. It could be even some of the receivers, like a Shoop or something like that. The managers have done a good job of it as well. So we'll see, but it is a critical role to the point you're making.
James, since the start of spring ball, do you feel like you've learned anything new about your safeties group or gained any clarity there?
Well, I think we feel really good about Nick. I think Garrett has kind of separated himself from the pack. In terms of if we were playing Saturday, they'd probably be our 2 starters. Aaron Monroe is missing some reps right now during the spring, so we're not really factoring him in. And then I think there's a really good competition with that next group of guys, including Lamont, Isaiah. I mean, who else am I not
Sutherland.
Sutherland, as you guys know, we've had a man crush on Sutherland since he's got here with his approach and his demeanor. Every play for him is the Super Bowl. I mean, it really is. Walkthroughs, jog-throughs, install periods. He is locked in, and we love him. So I think all those guys are going to play. I feel like I'm missing somebody else. Patrician's been a guy that's really been coming on for us. He's had a really good winter. Has had a really good spring. I know Coach Banks has a lot of confidence in him right now, so it's a good group. I don't think we'll make any decisions, obviously until camp. But if we were playing Saturday, right now it would be Garrett and Nick.
How has Garrett separated himself?
I think a lot of it is he's gotten more confident, he's gotten stronger, he's gotten more explosive, he's gotten faster. and he's a veteran guy. You know, he's a very mature guy. He's approached us the right way since he stepped on campus. As you guys, you know, have seen at multiple positions, but specifically safety, you know, we've had guys that have stepped into that role, starting with Malik, and then obviously last year with Apke, guys that maybe didn't have prominent roles but kept the right attitude and approach, and then when their time came, they were ready, and that's a little bit like Garrett, you know. So, you know, there's still some time, obviously, for those other guys to catch up and pass those, you know, those two guys, but. Right now, I think it's a really good group from top to bottom.
James, 2 weeks, or I guess 3 weeks in now, your impressions on Zach Kuntz and Micah Parsons and how they've transitioned so far?
You know, Zach is pretty far along in the passing game, as you can imagine. You know, in the run game, he's got a lot of work to do. It's a little bit probably like with when Mike Gesicki got here. It never blocked. It never really been in a three-point stance. It never been attached to the tackle. So, you know, it's a process. The thing that's good, though, is we're at a little bit different stage as a program where Mike, we didn't really have a whole lot of flexibility. Kind of had to throw him in there just based on numbers and depth and things like that, where now we're in a situation where, you know, if almost at every position, if guys are going to contribute early, it's because they've earned it and beat people out at every position. So he's getting stronger. He's getting more confident. He's a really good kid. He learns well. But, yeah, the area he's got to improve dramatically is in the run game. And in the pass game, he's got to be more refined with all of his routes and the details. He just was a better athlete than everybody in high school. So we're pleased with where he is. He can really run for a kid who's legitimately 6'7". Micah's doing really well. Obviously, the position is new to him. He can run. He's got really good instincts. You know, little things like stance and start. He hasn't really found a stance that he's comfortable in yet, which I know sounds, you know, crazy, but it's more challenging than you think, to be honest with you. So you're not false stepping and things like that. But when he makes a decision, he can flat out run, and he's running by people. There's times where, like, you know, he'll backdoor the play and go 2 gaps back, and you really shouldn't do that. And you're saying no, 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 but then he makes a tackle for loss in the backfield. So it's like no, 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 yes, yes, yes. He's got a lot of ability. He learns really well. We have moved him. We had him at the Mike position, but we moved him over to the Will position, which is our other box linebacker, and it just takes a little bit off of his plate for right now. And I think is going to help him grow and evolve the way we need him to. But so far, so good.
Hey, James. Sorry.